What a game that was at Stamford Bridge. The perfect London derby. Full of edge, full of venom, full of spite, full of aggression, full of quality, full of drama, full of everything that you would want. I'm so proud of that Chelsea performance. I think Arsenal fans will undoubtedly be happier. I think Arsenal can take so much from that 90 minutes, but from my perspective, I am genuinely over the moon. That was undoubtedly the best display of the Todd Boehly era. Chelsea have not played as well as that for about 2 years. We have genuinely not come close to that standard of football against a very good team for absolutely ages. Watching those players, watching Conor Gallagher, watching Cole Palmer, watching Mykhailo Mudryk, watching Caicedo play with heart, with passion, with aggression, with flair, with spirit, playing and putting their neck on the line for the badge that rests on their heart. It's been such a long time since I have seen a group of Chelsea players do that, and I thought that we were magnificent today. We obviously have to remember that we were playing against an Arsenal side who were immense. You know, they're physically, technically, tactically brilliant. And let's be totally honest, and if you're an Arsenal fan, be totally honest here, for 77 minutes, Chelsea battered Arsenal. We were the better team. We were the dominant team. Arsenal didn't really have any answer to the questions that we were posing them. And individually, we were winning the battle. The individual fights across the pitch, Chelsea were winning them. Malo Gusto was doing brilliantly in his duel. You've got to think about Cucurella, who was sensational in his duel against Saka. I thought Thiago Silva was a jewel in the crown, a sensational performance from him. And any Chelsea fan that was recently suggesting that Chelsea shouldn't be playing Thiago Silva, or Thiago Silva is nullifying the brilliance of this Chelsea team, or Thiago Silva has actually become a problem, must feel incredibly foolish today. We were top class, but all of this is actually going to be music to Arsenal fans' ears because, as I said, this is the best I've seen Chelsea play for about a year, and we didn't even win the game. It's a painful loss to take. It feels like a loss. I imagine that the sentiment among Arsenal fans will feel like it's a victory. I actually bumped into some Arsenal fans who have promised me that they're going to watch this video when I was at Liverpool Street Station, who were on their way back to Essex from Stamford Bridge, and they were saying something similar. It felt like a win to them. They conceded that the performance from them was atrocious, but there is something to be said for playing badly and getting something out of the game. There is something to be said for performing badly and somehow succeeding. And that is what Arsenal have managed to do yet again. To play badly and succeed is the hallmark of champions. Now, before we get into it, I need to let you know that I've partnered with NordVPN on this video. Trust me, everybody needs a bit of VPN action in their life. It has elevated my life beyond recognition. You know the 3 p.m. blackout? It doesn't apply to you if you simply sign up with NordVPN. That's right. It allows you to watch goals from all over the world. It allows you to watch goals from the Premier League. It allows you to watch matches that perhaps you shouldn't see. You know, when you go on Twitter, sometimes it will tell you that this goal will not be served in your location. Not anymore. All thanks to NordVPN. And guess what? It is so affordable. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee, and one login will allow you to partner with 6 different devices, so you can share it out between your mates. You can have it on your various different devices. NordVPN is the VPN action that you need in your life. Trust me. Also, not that you would, but let's pretend for a moment that you were doubting what I'm saying here. There's no risk attached. It is completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So, if you try it out and for one reason or another decide that it isn't for you, you get your money back. No risk at all. Literally no jeopardy. And there is more good news. There is even a discount if you use my sign-up code. All you have to do is head over to nordvpn.com/Rory. The link is, of course, in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you think about every single Premier League title winner over the years, they have all managed to execute a few times in a season a performance like that, where you snatch a draw from the jaws of defeat, where you snatch a victory from the jaws of a draw, where you just find a way. You do something that shouldn't happen. Maybe you drag your team to a victory that they don't deserve. Somehow you ride your luck, you get incredibly lucky. You find a way. And I think that is a crucial ingredient to any team, finding a way. It doesn't matter how well you play. It doesn't matter what the XG is. It doesn't matter how many forward passes you make. It doesn't matter about pass completion. What matters is, in the 77th minute, you are losing 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. In the pouring rain, under the floodlights. It's intense. It's hostile. It's a London derby. And it's not going your way. Arsenal fans, I think, had a gripe with certain refereeing decisions. Mykhailo Mudryk certainly didn't have a shot. It wasn't going Arsenal's way. Everything was going against Arsenal. And what did they do? The subs came on. Arteta made some interesting, brave substitutions. And they found a way. And Arsenal are the masters of this. They seem to always leave with something, even when they're not at their best. They seem to always find a way this year. Think about how many times this year Arsenal haven't played particularly well, could have been beaten, and are still unbeaten this season. It is the hallmark of champions. You know, I watched today's game with Miles. You know, Miles from Filthy Fellas. Lovely fella, obviously an Arsenal fan. And at 2-0 down, I said to him, obviously in a slightly hyperbolic way, but I said to him, if you get anything out of this game, you win the league. At 2-0 down on about 60 minutes. Because if Arsenal demonstrated the minerals, the resilience, the determination, the fight, the hunger to get something out of a game like that, when the game was ebbing away from them, it wasn't going their way. Mykhailo Mudryk scores a goal that he certainly didn't intend. The penalty's controversial. It wasn't falling their way. And what have they done? With 13 minutes to play, they have found a way. And that is the hallmark of champions. Obviously, there are many permutations to come. Obviously, this is going to be a long and winding road to find out who will actually be champions. But at the beginning of the season, I predicted Arsenal to win the league. And I've seen nothing to suggest that my prediction was wrong. Of course, people will be telling me that Manchester City are favourites. But I knew that when I made the prediction. Of course, people will be telling me that Liverpool are looking sensational, dazzling, brilliant, and unplayable at times. And I didn't know that when I made my prediction. I didn't anticipate them being this good. But I still believe that this Arsenal team are capable. And it's incredibly frustrating because today should have been the definitive moment of the Mauricio Pochettino era, the definitive win, the example for what Chelsea are going to be, the Pochettino template coming to fruition. And don't get me wrong, there were moments for that. It's the closest performance to a Pochettino performance that Chelsea have made under Pochettino. We were exuding the qualities that we associate with Mauricio Pochettino's teams. We were good, and we were up for it, and we were hungry, and there was some tactical manoeuvring, which was impressive. And that's all great, but we didn't get the win, and therefore it cannot be that seminal moment in Chelsea's season. We needed a win. And if you think about how good we were for that first hour, I think that first hour against Arsenal will actually be the template for how the Pochettino effect is going to work on our really young team. That's who we want to be. We were so intense in that approach. Look, we weren't dominant in possession. We weren't excellent throughout. We weren't exquisite. We weren't perfect. We weren't Guardiola City. Far from it. At various times, we were lucky. But you have to be against this Arsenal team. They're really good. You know, they've just beaten Manchester City. They've already beaten Manchester United this year. So I am really, really pleased with that performance from a Chelsea perspective. For Arsenal, though, I think that they will be on cloud nine. Arsenal have now played 9 games, including City, United, Tottenham and Chelsea. And they're joint top. And crucially, they haven't really played well. That is exactly what they will be after. You know, this result, I think they can kind of park it because ultimately it's a good result and a terrible performance. But they need to start putting some wins together. I think they're off to Seville soon, aren't they? Flying into Seville, my mate is. So they've got a lot going on. But for Chelsea, I'm tentatively pleased. I should be ecstatic. I just think this is kind of what's going to happen when you buy Brighton's third choice goalkeeper. You know, some major errors, and I think Gusto was at fault for allowing Trossard to come in on the inside of him, which again was a shame. But ultimately, full of pride for that performance, we just blew it. We had it in the bag. But Arsenal deserve a lot of credit. That goal from Declan Rice, I mean, he is just a warrior, isn't he? So how can somebody be signed for 100 million quid and already look a bargain? Oh, I'm gutted, you know that. I really am. But for Arsenal, I just... Look, obviously the 3 points would be better, but I feel like there's something bigger securing a draw in the circumstances than if they just come and won 4-0. I feel like it's more revealing for who they are. It's more of an indication for what they're about. It demonstrates the minerals and the prowess and the fight that they have. It's really annoying. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. And if you are new around here, let me know what you think in the comments below. See you in a bit.